Scott Nagy here joins us post-game. His comments are brought to you by CMC Mitchell and Associates. Coach, just want to start off with you. Just where do you take it? What were the biggest observations you had and really the biggest topic of conversation you have with your team just a moment ago in the locker room?
Mostly, I've said this before, the whole it's hard. What's hard is trying to explain to young men that winning and losing don't define you. Neither one of them do. Just a win or a loss or any of it. And doesn't say anything about who you are, but how you handle it. How you handle it says everything. And, we came in here today. I thought, our shoot-around was not how I wanted it to be. And I talked to the guys about that. I was a little bit, I felt like we were a little bit way too loose, like they thought this was going to be, just some kind of easy win, which makes no sense to me. I mean, I don't know how any win for us right now would be an easy one. And, for the most part, they just didn't guard us. They didn't guard us. And, you're not going to beat anybody shooting 6 for 31 from 3. That's for sure. And you can't, it's hard to get to the free throw line doing that. And, there's just a lot of guys in there trying to figure things out. I think as a coach, what goes through my mind, because it's not like Evansville's had a great season to this point. But it's clear he's kept his guys together. That he has his guys, and we don't. And, so as a coaching staff, what have we done to not gain, the confidence of our players? And so that's on us as a staff to get that figured out and regain our guys' confidence, so that we have their hearts, so that they'll listen and do those things that we ask, and pay attention, shoot-arounds, those kind of things. And so I think Dave's done a good job. He's had some injuries. They had all kinds of things going on. Lost a kid today. And, he's keeping those guys together even when they're not having a great season. But, they're 2-1 in league. So, I mean, he's clearly doing, and lost by 2 the other one. And we haven't even played a close league game yet. So it's a bit embarrassing. It's hard. But it's what we have.
Coach, I was noticing that Turnbull was setting hard screens, not illegal, but he was setting a hard screen on your guys in the first 10 minutes of the half, and I made comment of it. And that Southern's got to react to that, and not let guys bully you. And then at 8:32, it's a 3-point game. Evansville just made a 3. I think Hafner got the 3, and the flagrant foul happened. From that point on throughout the half, how would you assess your team's fight from that 8-minute mark to finish off the first half after your guy could have gotten paralyzed?
I think that when what we've struggled with this year is when things have not gone well, we haven't been able to respond to it very well. And like in a situation like that, you would think our guys would be ready to go. And so, there's a lot to it that like you just start to question what the heck's going on. That's for sure. I don't think our team has had a great fight really all year. Now, when things are going well, it's easy to, but when things aren't, it's more difficult to. And it's one of the reasons why we're in the situation we're in.
How do you change it? I've been a part of those practices.
You change it. You change it in recruiting. That's how that's how you change it. And but that doesn't mean you just go. We just give up on these kids,
right?
Because these are good young men that need us dearly, and so it can't just be just throw these guys out and go get some other guys. That's not the answer.
Right.
But you do in recruiting. We'll have a better chance, obviously, with more time to evaluate the kind of young men that fit our system. But, I'm not blaming it on that either. We still recruited these guys, and we need to help them. We need to help them. But I think overall, in terms of building your program, that's how you get that done is by the recruiting.
Coach, nobody feels more down about this than you guys, you and your staff and your players, because of how much you put into it. And I know fans and us, we can all get emotional about it too. So I hope I phrased this next question to you the right way. But obviously, conversation after Eastern Kentucky was the same way of the lack of the start, the fight, the physicality early, physicality against Northern Iowa, Bradley. You can go down the list of those. I don't need to go through them all. And maybe this is a question more for Kennard and the players, but you as a coach, where does it get to the point of your guys of being, there's no more really talking about it. When's the point going to be enough where that you would think that the pain threshold of what you've been through already would be enough to get you through that and the other side? If you can forgive me for what.
No,
yeah.
but what's it matter how much pain I feel? I'm not playing. Yeah. I'm not playing. And, like I said after the Northern Iowa game, like I told the guys, I've coached some bad teams. This is not a bad team. And this is, this has been the perplexing thing to me, how this continues to go on. Now, we're not a great offensive team, and I think, in the second half that really impacted us. I mean, they didn't guard us. They were not even guarding us, just daring us to shoot the ball. And we had guys scared to death to shoot the ball. We have just so many guys with no confidence. And so then that starts to impact the defensive end. It just does. When you can't score, it just drains the energy out of you. So that that's another issue. But the first half is not that problem. How do we get ourselves in that struggle the first half?
Leadership is always important. How would you put the emphasis on how important your senior leadership is going to be, not just moving forward?
Yeah, it's not just on those guys. It's on every person. It just is, every person to, the question, if you start asking why, that's a bad question. It just is a bad question. The question is what? What can I do to help? And anybody that's sitting around asking why is feeling sorry for themselves. Anybody that's asking what has gotten beyond that and going, how can I help? So I'm not interested in why. I'm interested in what. Coach, what can I do? Not, Coach, why is this happening? Life's tough.
Are you hearing that? Are you hearing that from
Not
your
yet.
team?
Not yet. We will. And like I tell them, I can keep taking the heat. I'm fine with that. But when they're willing to step up and say no, it's not that, it's this, and they'll get there. They'll get there.
Coach, appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Once again, that was Head Coach Scott Nagy joining us. His comments were brought to you by CMC Mitchell and Associates.